Okay, extra practice. Question number 12. The library has a total collection of 2,630 books. The number of nonfiction books is 240 fewer than the number of fiction books, but 190 more than the number of picture books. How many books of each type are in the library? Okay, so let's get our side work together first. I need to understand a few things here. The nonfiction is 240 fewer than fiction. So I kind of model that over here. This is going to be, let me make that a little bit bigger. Okay. That's going to be fiction. So I want to model that first green highlighted area there. The nonfiction is 240 less. So I model it with a smaller bar. And this area here shows 240. Now, why is that 240? Because the fiction books are 240 more. This is 240 more than the number of nonfiction, or nonfiction is 240 less, so it's a smaller bar than the number of fiction. The next piece of information I can see is that, but that nonfiction is more than the number of picture books. So I come back over and I'm going to make picture books, but the picture books is the least, right? So I go picture books here, and inside the picture books I could see this is less than the nonfiction by 190, so I modeled that there. Okay. Now that space is right here. So kind of looking at it like this, it's 190 more than the number of picture books. And then I can see that that space is the same as that space right there. So what I'm really gathering here is that I have unequal parts, but I do have a couple of equal parts here. These now are going to look like equal parts when I put it all back together again. Let's see if that makes sense. Go to my large frying pan. And these are going to be types of books. Okay. And I know that I have picture books, which are less. And I don't know exactly how much that is yet. But then I have nonfiction, which is a little bit more. Nonfiction has that same space plus another 190. Right? So let's look at how that works there. What I had there was I filled this in. This space is the same as this space from the nonfiction. Here's my nonfiction that's equal to that, so I colored that in purple right now to begin with. But I also had that extra 190 that I'm going to put in there for the nonfiction books. And then the fiction books are the most. So the fiction books have that equal area, that there, right? It's the same as that section in the nonfiction and the picture books. But it also has 190 more from this here, right? But it also has 240 more than the nonfiction. So I'm going to add another 240 at the end here, right? Because I'm looking at that right here. The fiction has an extra 240 that the nonfiction and the picture books didn't have. So those are my fiction. So my units are books. I have 3 different types of books. They're 3 different sizes, and then eventually I'm going to either add or subtract to get the different parts. I do know that I have a total. Okay, so the total is 2,630 total books. This is a little trickier because the numbers are separated, but it's still going to be just fine. I have 190 and 190 and 240 that I'm going to add together. 190 plus 190 plus 240, okay, is 620, right? So now I have 3 spaces that are equal, but I've eliminated these 3 middle boxes, okay? So let me show you kind of how that works there. That's 430 and 190. If I put those together, I have 620. Now, if I eliminate that from the 2,630, I subtract that, I'm down to 1,010. I'm sorry, 2,010. 2,010. Okay, now, that 2,010 is going to be divided between these 3 equal sections. So I have 3 equal sections. I'm going to divide by 3. And I see that it's going to go nicely with my long division, 670. 670, 670, 670. I divided the leftover 2010 by 3 equal sections after I took out the parts that I did know. I had 3 equal sections. Okay. So, how many picture books do I have? It's right here, 670. How many nonfiction books? 670 plus the 190. 670 plus the 190 is 860. Well, then I took that and I added on another 240 to get my fiction books. 1,100 fiction books. So how many of each type? I have 670 picture books. I have 860 nonfiction. Again, I apologize for the glitchiness of the smartboard. And fiction is 1,100. Okay, I know some of you parents are trying to help them with algebra, but we're not ready for that yet. I think we can become very good, complex problem solvers continuing to learn the strategy. We're not going to be perfect yet, but keep going.